Hello and welcome to the podcast from Stress to Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Lolita Guarin, and today's episode 221, and I continue the conversation about how to manage stress through the holiday season. If you're a returning listener, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new, welcome! I hope you will be back because, well, I give a lot of stress management tips, and I hope you are not just listening in, but taking action on that as well. So, let's continue. So today I want to talk about staying in touch through the holiday season. As you know, we are group animals. We need other people, and it can get very frustrating that you have your routine that has to do with people. So, for example, um, you meet your friends every Friday, you go to church on Sunday, you meet other friends, and or you always keep in touch with your kids, or you always have this interaction with other people that maybe not in person but online. And so you have your routines, because in the previous episodes, like this week on Tuesday, check it out, that episode, I was talking about keeping your habits that has to do with your mindset and your eating habits and your workouts and all of this. But here I want to talk about how to keep your habits with keeping your peeps close to you. What happens a lot with the holiday season, that let's say you have a group of friends that you do a lot of emotional regulation. Like you need to talk to them, and it's kind of like a tight group. But then you go on a holiday to see your mother-in-law, you go to see your aunt, you go to see some other people, and then it feels like, oh my gosh, now you have to please those other people and they not really respecting you maybe. And you feel that withdrawal from your friends because, you were there accepted and you were loved and appreciated. And now you're with some people that, oh my gosh, and if it's this family that they, gaslight you and they tell you how bad you are and then they criticize you or they're asking you the questions of that you don't want to answer. All this stressful experience that has to do with holidays and dealing with people that you don't want to deal with, it really can take a toll on you. Like that was number one thing I hated holidays because I'm like, I don't want to, I just don't want to have this confrontation all the time. So how is that you do? So there's three things that you can do um to keep yourself grounded and in a happier place, and most of all, still connected to your group that's actually helping you. So we all have cell phones these days, right? And just send a message. Those are group messages are very popular these days, right? So how about before you go off from your holiday, whatever, create a support group for you and your friends and say, this is where everybody's going to vent. This is where everybody's going to complain. This is where everybody's going to, or say, hey, share some great news. Share, hey, look at the picture. Look at this. Look at that. And even though if you as friends are in different locations, I bet your friends probably dealing with the same issues like you are. So where you have a common space, even if it's online, where you can talk about it, it will help you and it'll support you and others. So you will not feel like you lost that connection and you suddenly like just kidnapped and flown into another planet and now you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I really want to go back. Having this connection, even um that's not even tangible. Like you cannot really hug your friend, right? But you can message them, you can talk on the phone, having that connection and knowing that you have that connection, you can reach out anytime you need to, it's priceless because it gives you a tool that if something happens, you can call them, you can message them, and they will be there for you. Knowing that there is a plan B, knowing that you have a support system, it helps your brain already relaxed. It helps you to relax. So you'll be less burnout and stressed out to the whole this holiday. And when you are participating in some sort of confrontation, like sometimes family members can throw that in, right? Instead of getting in that, you just look at them like you're watching a TV show. And then tell yourself, I'm going to watch this, what's happening now, and then I'll tell my friends about it. Because you see, when you're detaching yourself from that situation, and instead of trying to fix them, like, oh my gosh, my aunts are already, we just got here and they already got in this argument that something happened 20 years ago. And then you take responsibility of thinking, no, 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 I'm going to pacify them. I'm going to tell them, can you just stop talking. This was 2 years ago, and trying to bring that peace. You cannot change people. You cannot control people. So how about you just let them do them, and you watch this as a movie so you can tell your friends about it and say, hey, you will not believe what happened. The key here is not to get emotionally involved in other people's conflicts. They're probably going to bring you nothing good about that. Now, third thing, how to do with you that has to do with your friends and the group that can help you through this holiday season is to reach out. You can just send a message and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. How's it going? How's your holidays are going? And if you know that there's a group of people that you maybe were participating a lot, but because of holiday season, everybody's everywhere, whatever, and you feel like, oh, well, kind of feels like this break, they're probably feeling the same thing. So how not be the first who will initiate that contact? How about call a friend? How about message them and say, hey, how's it going? How's your holidays? Do you need anything? That itself, it will give you a great connection, rekindle that, even though maybe you talked only 2 weeks ago. But it kind of will give you again, kind of like what I said at the beginning, it'll give you understanding that there's someone there for you. And when you reach out to someone and they say, oh my gosh, it's so good to hear from you, or like, oh wow, my gosh, you have no idea how busy I am, and thank God that you called me first. I was planning for 3 days already. It brings that camaraderie together, and you are there for them, and they know you're always reachable, and so start doing first step. Don't also just sit and think, well, I'm waiting for somebody else to call me. Like, just pick up the phone. And more than that, you can do FaceTime, Zoom, whatever it is, video chat, that you can have you on video and you can have a glass of wine and cheer to a friend who's sitting somewhere in Europe. Oh, I don't know if you're watching in Europe, then I guess you can say in any other country. You know what I mean? So, make it the time, put in a schedule and say, let's do 15 minutes coffee break and just chit chat with your friend. Just do it on video. I can guarantee you feel like you just talk to them. Sure, you cannot hang them, but you still feel that connection. So it's really up to you. So let me know. Did, did you find anything interesting about this video? Was this a great idea on something? And if you know a person that can benefit from this video, please forward it to them. And of course, I can help more than that. I'm open for coaching. I just launched my online membership. All of this in the description below. And now is the weekend coming, and we are like in the middle of December. So there's a lot of pressure. But I'll be still continuing talking about holidays and stress. And then on the new year, I think I'll start talking about stress and setting goals and all that jazz that comes with the starting of a new year.